All right, cut. Welcome to my house. This is my house on the north side of Wheaton, Illinois, suburb of Chicago. This is my front yard. 30 years ago, it started out as a traditional yard with sod, grass. I started out with a small prairie and vegetable gardens, and it's turned into this, just gradually over time. It's now a 20-year-old mature prairie with over 100 some species of native plants. These plants were here long before us. For thousands of years, these plants were in Wheaton, long before humans were here. At some point, somebody tried to convince us, and I won't mention any names in particular, like Scott's lawn builder, convinced us that suburbs were supposed to be grass. Well, grass is ridiculously unproductive and destructive in a lot of ways. This yard is alive, beautiful, with colors, smells, textures, all sorts of life forms that are doing their thing. So it's an instant conversation starter. I meet wonderful people that walk by here and go, "What the hell are you doing?" Concord grapes.
Oh wow.
Over here, climbing beans. So this could be a wall of green with red flowers on it. Could be pretty stunning. Who says it has to be ugly, right?
Right.
These are herbs. Some of them are in pots, some of them are in the ground. Dill and catnip and parsley and rosemary and basil and lavender and marjoram and mint, sage, cilantro, garlic, onions, rhubarb. Let's see.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How legal is all of this according to Wheaton's current ordinances and laws?
100% legal, yeah.
So anyone could do this at any time?
Yep. Yep, because Wheaton actually has a native plant sale now. Back, 20 years ago when I established the prairie, I was a little bit concerned about the neighbors and all that. It was a small prairie. But now Wheaton in the last 10 years has had a native plant sale each spring.
So what else do we got?
All right, so those are the herbs. These are vegetables, so broccoli, beets, 3 types of beets. This is the greens bed, so Swiss chard, mustards, lettuce, kale. Tomatoes behind me. There's a bunch of tomatoes. There's 30 tomato plants across the house. These are actually pretty tomatoes. They're ornamental. They're called silvery fir tree tomatoes. And they're really, so you can see they're actually like delicate, so they're actually pretty. People are supposed to put them in pots in their front yard. This is over here. These are peppers, 35 peppers. A mix of hot peppers and bell peppers. So over here are a ridiculous amount of cucumbers. I mean, how many cucumbers do you need? Over here is carrots, onions, 2 types of onions. The strawberry patch is done for the year. They were all of the month of June. A bunch of different heirloom tomatoes over there, cherry tomatoes. Around the corner is a mulberry tree, which I invite neighbors to eat. This is Winfield Creek, which goes into Northside Lagoon and then into the DuPage River, the West Branch. So this is a raspberry patch that's pretty mature now. This is the 3rd year for it. And we're getting some really beautiful fruits. I mean, it's going to be covered. Yesterday, my great nephews were over. They were about this tall, so they were down like this. And imagine seeing food that's 3 times taller than you everywhere.
I'll take one.
They're literally perfect right now.
They're really good.
Oh my God.
You can make mulberry pie.
Mulberry pie and jam, and last year I made strawberry, raspberry, mulberry jam.
That sounds so good.
One of these days I'm going to take a plastic sheet out here and then shake the tree. Then you get you can harvest like a gallon all at once. What I have is time. I'm time rich. And I value freedom and time more than I do money. You can only do so much with money. Most people would always say, "Oh, I wish I had more time." Well, this is an approach to that. It's a different kind of situation. How about we connect the plant life with engineering and technology.
Sure.
I'll show you the rainwater system. So this is a home-built rainwater system. I got these barrels from my food co-op and wanted to build this because the plants, of course, like rainwater better than they like hose water. Okay.
Yeah.
So this system is open source, so namely I can give the design to anybody. Anybody can use it if they want. It's expandable. So right now it has 3 blue barrels. This year I added, well, to use the water, you can use gravity feed down here. So you can use the water like this, which I fill up like watering cans and stuff. But this year I added a pump, which also was free from my neighbor. He no longer wanted to do his pond anymore. So now I have rainwater through a hose anywhere in the garden.
Wow.
150 gallons.
Wait,
of
so I'm sorry, where's the pump?
It's in I have it rigged in right now. It's in the middle barrel.
So this is water pressure as if it was from...
It's not quite the same as house water. It's a little bit less pressure, but it's more pressure than gravity.
Wow!
So this would feed a soaker hose, for example.
So you can, water flower pots that are above your head and...
Right. Or use a soaker hose, an irrigation system. And I will do that someday. I want to make a total automated system, for when I'm old and I can't walk anymore, then I'll still be able to grow food. No, I'm just joking. But anyway,
wow.
Yeah. So this is the marriage of nature and plants with technology and engineering. People from COD have been coming here for 8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And they do like horticulture classroom stuff?
It's on their energy. The woman that comes here is environmental science.
Oh, wow.
And when they're covering their section on energy, they come here as a field trip.
That's awesome.
So 9 years, 8 or 9 years for 3 or 4 times per year. A bus pulls up and these young kids come out and I get to work on their brains.
Mend their minds.
I always ask them what their majors are, what are their interests, what are their names, and then also tell me what your opinion is beforehand. And then I take the same poll afterwards, because first you see a weed patch and then you start to see intention and purpose and plan. So, okay, uh-oh, I looked at her.
Hi, Pupper! So the sun just came out.
It did.
Perfect timing to discuss.
Hey.
So the Solar Energy Association,
There it is.
I served with them for a good part of the 2000s, and I learned about solar energy at the time. I was into it before, but then once I was on the board and served with them and going to lots of events, I learned a lot. Read and played and experimented. So part of that was that I created 2 energy systems on my house, actually 4, but I'll show you 2. The system that's close to us, that's laying down, that's a solar electric system. And the big system standing up is a solar water system.
Wow.
So that heats my water and also can heat my house. And the bottom system is making my electricity.
Jeez.
Right now my system is selling extra power to my neighbor actually. My house isn't using the power, so it's coming out the wire, going up to the grid. And then ComEd is taking that and passing it on to my neighbor, first one down the road. So it's called a grid tie system. It's a 2,000 watt grid tie system. It's installed in 2004, so 11 years now.
Has it paid itself off yet?
Well, the payoff equation is a very good one to ask, and everyone asks that. There's 2 approaches to that. One, that the energy that it makes alone, the payback depends on how much it generates and how much electricity costs. In Illinois, we actually have fairly cheap electric rates. So maybe it even hasn't paid itself off entirely yet of what I've saved in electricity. But I also got a government rebate, which helped the payoff equation. But the most important thing to understand about payback is that it actually increased the value of my home. So I might have let's say I spent $10,000 on that system. Well, 90% of that cost is an increased value of my home. My house is now worth $9,000 more forever. When I go to sell it, my house will be worth more on the market. I'll get that money back out. So it paid off the day I installed it. Compare that to the payoff of your boat or your large screen TV or your fancy schmancy whatever. Nobody asked that.
That's so true.
What's the payback on your boat?
Well, I enjoyed it $10,000 that one day and $2,000 the other day.
Yeah. I like this. So to me, the payoff was immediate also from a spiritual point of view, is that I like this. It's a better way to do electricity. It makes me happy. So you can also look at it that way too. And if we do all this, there's, we can literally live on sunshine. As you can see in this case, my house is not using all this energy that's coming in, and I'm selling power. And that reduces my bill each month. I'm not zero, but it reduces the bill. Because I'm buying power every night. The sun isn't shining at night, so I'm buying power from the grid at night. Overall, though, my bills are really low, in the 20s for a 3-bedroom house.
Wow.
Yeah. The system's running. This is the sound it makes when it's running.
Okay.
And the tall panels, the one that are sticking upright. The reason that they're upright is to capture more sunlight in the winter months when the sun is low.
Yeah.
Because this time of year, there's so much sun, you don't need that much hot water. But in the winter months, the less sun, the days are shorter, the sun's lower, so that's why they're aimed up like that. So this is a drain back tank which stores the antifreeze, and when the system turns on, this big pump pushes it up into the panels. It gets hot, comes back down, and that goes, so cool, hot, cool, hot. And there's another small pump which exchanges the heat in the antifreeze into fresh water in this big tank.
Wow.
A 120-gallon tank is 3 times larger than the average water heater. And this hot water from the sun preheats the water coming into the regular tank. So sometimes it's 100% solar, sometimes it's no solar, but most of the time it's at least some solar.
Wow.
So it saves you energy pretty much all year round. Probably 90% of my hot water comes from this system.
Jeez.
So it's patriotic, we save money. You can tell that I have a little routine, don't you?
It's a different kind of situation.